Chapter 1: The Material Limit and the Quantum Exit. Modern planetary wealth and regulatory frameworks operate inside a rigid material trap. Every centralized banking transaction and immutable property ledger depends entirely on physical hardware. They remain bound to vulnerable servers and fading national jurisdictions of Earth. If a global economic reset or sudden asset confiscation is synchronized tomorrow, your entire multi-generational inheritance is instantly frozen. Within the state's material grid, the public assumes digital asset velocity provides permanent insulation from political panics. They trust high-frequency trading networks and international legal defenses on the surface. But behind classified quantum laboratories, the 0.1% see a structural prison. They see a world where linear data is fully weaponized for expropriation, keeping absolute capital within standard atomic timelines means sharing the inevitable systemic collapse. The hyper-elite refuse to allow their institutional longevity to be intercepted by courts. They are actively engineering their complete departure from conventional material tracking systems by constructing private autonomous enclaves, utilizing non-material particles and isolated quantum phases. These extreme points offer absolute detachment from Earth-bound chronological and legal intervention, creating a permanent cosmic coordination anchorage, requiring no planet-bound compliance to function. This is the rise of the antimatter core phase secession, where theoretical physics is transformed into an exclusive dynastic acid protection class. Those who control the mechanisms of mass dictate ultimate survival terms. The horizontal constraints of global physical boundaries are rendered completely obsolete, replaced by an unyielding vertical matrix operating outside international telecommunication codes. The escape of absolute intelligence is instant, non-material, and permanently unreachable. Chapter 2: The Quantum Architecture of Antimatter Magnetic Bottles. To maintain an independent sovereign civilization, the sanctuary demands absolute physical invulnerability, an unyielding cryptographic medium capable of outrunning central bank algorithms across generations. Traditional silicon servers and satellite arrays are dismissed by the elite as primitive. They are highly vulnerable to localized cyber warfare and state hardware overrides. To eliminate this risk, the enclave utilizes private advanced antimatter magnetic bottles. These gargantuan arrays are engineered across hundreds of kilometers of dark graphene, surrounding the entire habitat, to constantly capture and stabilize volatile antimatter particles, converting these high-energy non-material states into uninterceptable private data coordination streams. Specialized localized phase-locking compensation cores maintain perfect synchronization during space-time shifts, ensuring that internal databases and transaction histories remain completely uninterrupted by outside force. Thick multi-layered carbon fiber hulls utilize advanced metric engineering to shield delicate sensors, preventing hardware degradation associated with intense, uneven localized chronological drag gradients. The infrastructure inside these private technological domes is continuously managed by automated networks. Every single terabit of sovereign data and system density is balanced by AI. When surface nations suffer under economic lockdowns and state-controlled digital network blackouts, these private relativistic sanctuaries remain perfectly synchronized through non-material mechanics of antimatter phases. By establishing absolute control over their own phase medium, the elite conquer all tracking. The private antimatter channel becomes the ultimate vessel of dynastic data longevity, sustaining human financial records and immutable ledger databases through millions of cycles. Chapter 3: The Intangible Sovereign Ledger and Non-Material Cryptography. Physical sovereignty in the deep void is incomplete without complete computational autonomy. A trustless digital coordination framework, programmed to protect the empire without territorial bureaucracy. Traditional cloud mainframes and national quantum centers are highly vulnerable to state raids. They cannot be trusted to protect a dynasty's operational keys across conflicts. To eliminate this risk, the secession utilizes autonomous non-material cryptographic processing fields. Decentralized subatomic computer nodes execute continuous immutable smart contracts ahead of surveillance. These algorithms are hard-coded with advanced theoretical protocols to transfer wealth across cosmic gaps, automatically routing dark assets and executing trades on Earth. Through uninterceptable quantum states, the private digital wealth is shielded behind unbreakable, phase-locked antimatter encryption keys. No terrestrial government, central bank, or regulatory agency can trace these codes. The subatomic processing platform autonomously coordinates private kinetic defense arrays, deploying automated interceptor vessels to neutralize any unauthorized deep space corporate reconnaissance drones. Every operational cost and structural maintenance fee is cleared through private non-material wallets, operating entirely outside the jurisdiction of earthly financial intelligence units and banking grids. The entire technological infrastructure becomes an immortal, self-defending, timeless informational fortress, an artificial intelligence matrix designed to maintain data purity of absolute masters, securing the legacy of the elite against the constant systemic decay of surface civilizations. Chapter 4: The Automated Closed Loop and Subatomic Self-Sufficiency. To achieve total isolation, the enclave requires complete material and energetic self-reliance. The automated production of high-density processing power and pristine hardware components within hulls. Yet industrial manufacturing chains on Earth are deeply dependent on vulnerable raw material access. They are highly susceptible to regional resource nationalism and state maritime restrictions. To eliminate this vulnerability, the elite build automated asteroid capture fabrication loops. These rotating facilities utilize molecular manufacturing, calibrated to print hyper-dense computing architectures, delivering optimal processing nodes directly to the sanctuary's mainframe. Through automated quantum systems, powered continuously by the habitat's central collectors, and localized micro-singularity batteries, autonomous robotic arms and subatomic sensors manage the entire fabrication cycle without human presence, harvesting raw space minerals and pure carbon structures. Under completely automated conditions, energy is harvested from nearby vacuum fluctuations and filtered through advanced field barriers. This ultra-pure power is stored in titanium cells, layered with protective electromagnetic shields, ensuring that the private sanctuary remains independent of Earth's depleted resource pools. No industrial collapses or infrastructure failures on the surface can touch this network. This is not an experimental laboratory designed for public scientific advancement or academic education. It is a highly calculated monopoly on automated sovereign informational self-preservation. By decoupling entirely from the terrestrial chronological biosphere, absolute capital achieves absolute immortality, protecting the financial coordination of the 0.1% from baseline political decay. Chapter 5: The Post-Material Era and the Antimatter Divide. The completion of the private sanctuary establishes the final permanent division of the human species, a barrier built not merely on economic class, but on the fundamental definition of mass. The general public is condemned to remain on the monitored, decaying terrestrial surface, trapped within an energy-starved world, ruled by aggressive state surveillance and material confiscations, while the 0.1% secure their coordination networks inside an antimatter phase fortress, completely immune to the gravity of planetary revolutions and the authoritarian collapse of nations. They have successfully decoupled from the shared material destiny of the human species. The political and philosophical implications of this antimatter divide are absolute. When absolute wealth owns its own definition of substance, temporal metric, and defensive arrays, power is no longer temporary, and capital is no longer subject to state-level confiscation. The elite no longer require a cooperative public society to protect their dynastic continuity. The exit gateways of these non-material fortresses are already operating completely silently. Their exact space-time coordinates are highly classified and defended by unbribable automated networks. The age of the public internet and linear planetary governance is rapidly closing, replaced by an unyielding cosmic matrix of private empires operating at the edge of physics. Subscribe to future Prism Lab for the hidden mechanics of wealth.